I used to rent game servers for me and my friends all of the time, and we'd sit there and play together, but subscriptions start to add up when you pay for Minecraft Realms and then some server hosting platforms. I've now got a mini PC on my desk running a Terraria server and a Minecraft server at the exact same time. Now, this is easy for anyone to do if you have experience with Linux or not, and in this video I'll show you exactly how to set it up. Step one is to get our operating system ready. So we have our Ubuntu server we've been setting everything up on for the last few videos. And I did get a comment, I'll put it on the screen now. It's someone telling me that I gave them the ick because I was using my home folder, and they're completely correct. So what I've actually done is if you do cd ... and cd ... again, you head into your root directory, and I've moved everything into /crv for our Docker composers. And then inside this SRV folder, I've created a new folder called MCSManager, which is the platform we're going to use to achieve self-hosting our own game servers. And inside of here, I've created a Docker compose. So let me jump into MCSManager. I'm going to do ls just to see I have my Docker compose here. This Docker compose follows the exact template under the documentation here, and install the Docker image and then the Docker compose here. So on the Docker compose, all you need to do is just change it to your relative paths. So for example, if I do sudo cat docker compose.yaml, so what cat does, it just prints out what's in the file. So you'll see that I now have my folder set up in /opt for docker sock, opt again. Just change this to wherever the data is actually located. So you can see mine's actually placed in web data, web logs. But this will very much depend on how you have it set up. If you're confused, just remember what we did with the jellyfin video. If you open up an SSH session, or if you're already remoted on, just come in here and type Gemini, how we set that up. And then you can ask Gemini to help you get that Docker compose running. But once you have your compose ready, it's as easy as remembering the port up here of 2333333. And then going sudo docker compose up-d. Okay, now this is going to pull. This might take a while because my internet is slow as anything. Okay, so it looks like Docker has finished pulling my image and creating the containers for us. You'll notice we actually have two. So if we look up at a compose, you'll see you have the MCSManager web and the MCSManager Daemon. This is essentially what hosts your servers, and this is the web UI. So it's a good thing we have two services. That means it's up and running, and what we can do just to verify as well is just go sudo docker container ls, and with any luck, if I just expand this out a little bit, we'll see that we have MCSManager up. It's been up about a minute, and you'll see the web up about a minute ago. And then it's important just to make note of a couple of these ports here. So this is going to be our web UI location, and this will be the Daemon port, which we will need in a second. And something else we just need to do as well is we need to sudo docker logs, and then grab the container ID, I believe it's of the Daemon, and hit enter. And then you're going to need to make note of this access key here because we're going to need it in a minute. What I'm going to do is I'm now going to go over to my IP address of this server, which if you're unsure, you can just do IPA. There you go. 192.168.4.115 is where we're looking to go. So what I'm going to do is 192. You'll see a few more IP addresses pop up in here. .168.4.115. And then that port of, it's already up there for us, 23333. And click enter. So let me full screen this and we'll have a bit more of a view. It's nice and dark for us already, which is nice. And okay, so we'll go English. We'll get started. Just create an account quick. Once you're ready, hit create account. Now you can either go as a first-time user or an experienced user. It just changes your interface a little bit, but we're going to go first-time user today just because we only really care about setting up a server today nice and quick. Okay, so on here, you're at the top, you'll have your instances, market, overview, users, daemons, and settings. So first big thing you'll notice is your server template marketplace. Now you can create your own servers using Docker images, or compress packages, or create directly where you can just upload configurations. But the templates are 9 times out of 10 going to sort you out pretty well. So let's open up a nice Terraria server. Now a couple things to note on this screen already is where it says Docker version. This means Docker is going to handle the ports. There you go. So if you go into Minecraft, you'll notice only one has a Docker version, the others don't. So if it doesn't have a Docker version, what you then have to do is go into the Docker compose and under the daemon add the normal game server port. I think for Minecraft it's 265. I can't remember the port off the top of my head. But we're going to set this up in a minute anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much. And what we have to do before we install any game servers is go onto daemons and create new daemon. So we can call this home server, media server, whichever you like. And we'll just type in the IP address. Now you are able to type in localhost here instead. This will work the same as the IP address, but I just prefer to type in IPs, but it's completely up to you. So it pulls in that port by default, and this is where it's asking for that key. So where we did sudo docker logs earlier, so we get the logs for the daemon, not the web UI. The access key is configured in there, which will let the web UI communicate with the daemon. So if I bring this back up, let's type in my IP address. Just call this home server. You can call this whatever you like. This is completely up to you. Just hit confirm and refresh. There we go. So now the web UI is able to communicate with the secondary part of the compose folder. It's got 16 gig of RAM it can use pretty much. It's normal, it's online, and it's got a version. And it's on Linux. Good to know. And there's the connection address. So now we can go into market. I'm going to start a Terraria server first, because this is a little bit easier than a Minecraft server at first. So I'm going to call this Naf's Terraria server. Just hit start install. And then this is where we would hit a brick wall if we didn't set up that daemon before. So now we have to select on the home server. And now the web UI will communicate with the daemon and set the server up for you. Unfortunately, it's not quite as easy as just hitting start sometimes. But we will see how far we get with Terraria. And I'll show you a few little quick workarounds as well. So it looks like we've got some invalid mount paths. So it does not exist, the opt folder, the daemon data instance. So it looks like we're having some issues with that. So I'll go and fix that real quick. Okay, so what the actual issue is there, I managed to get the server actually up and running. What I did was, from where I moved it from my home directory, I didn't update the volumes properly. So that was my fault jumping into the video where the volume is actually located on SRV rather than web what it was before. So that was just my fault not mapping it correctly. But if you update that template, how you have it set up, you shouldn't hit this issue. But if you do, just ask Gemini, like I said earlier in the CLI. So with Terraria, you can see we've got a server up and running here, which is 1.4.4.9. This isn't actually the latest version of Terraria. It's 1.4.5.5, I think. But I'll show you how to select the version manually in a minute. What you can do to set up a Terraria world is just type N. Let's create a small world just to make it quick. A classic. Go corrupt for the better one. Let's call it Nave's World. Random seed. There you go. And it's just going to go and generate that world for us. But something to note about Terraria servers is what you want to do is jump into instance settings down here. This isn't something that they really tell you. Then in containerization, we have a little bit to change up here. So change this to 7777. And then change this to 77777. And then add configuration 77777, 77777, and then UDP. So Terraria needs both a TCP and a UDP, and hit confirm. So I've just changed the host port to 77, and then I'm just mapping the ports manually. I find this to be a bit more reliable. But what I said earlier about it not pulling the latest version of Terraria, let's say you're playing a modded version and you need a very specific version, what you can do is just go on your browser at Terraria server Docker Hub. And then it's normally the top option that's the best. For me is Reishi Terraria. I think I'm saying that right. But if you're on Docker Hub, this is the easiest way to manually select a server version. You want to come over to here where it says tag summary. And you'll see it has all of these containers. So we can do the latest, or since I want 1.4.5.5, I can click here and then click the three dots. And then I'm just going to copy after Docker pull because we just want this manual tag here. Going back over to MCSManager, I'll then go use an image from Docker Hub and enter that in there. So you'll see it's a little bit different. But then if I hit save, and I'll restart our server. There you go, look, 1.4.5.5. So we've actually updated that server now. So if I click start, and in the background, I'll open up Terraria. So for Terraria, you'll see the world we've made, which is Nave's World. We can select 1. Max players, we can put on 16, that's fine. We'll go default port. We don't need to automatically port forward because I'm not making this a public server. But if you were to make this a public server and do port forwarding, this is how you would do that. Server password, just go like 123. And then it's going to go ahead and generate that world and say server started. So now what I need is my Terraria instance, which is over here. Go multiplayer, join via IP, choose your character, and then just type in your server IP address. So for example, mine is 196.1.4.115, and then type the port, and then it's the password we just set. There we go. We have a Terraria server up and running. And if you want to share this with friends, the quickest and easiest way is by a VPN such as Twingate or Tailscale. you would just share it as a resource, but that's coming in a video next week, how to actually get people to join these game servers and access your web UIs outside of your home network. There we go. You see Nathan's joined in the server logs here. And that's Terraria. So there's our first server already set up and done. The next one we're going to set up is Minecraft, but we're not going to use the default Docker template this time. We're actually going to use paper MC 1.2.21, just so I can demonstrate how to get around this Docker version issue. If you then click install, and let's just call this a Minecraft server, it's fine, and then just start installation. You'll then choose your node again, or your daemon, and then the download is a process. It's going to go install Minecraft server for us now. But what we're going to notice in a minute, if we go onto Minecraft and try to connect, we'll never be able to do that. So please try to start the instance. We can start that and I'll pull Minecraft up. Okay, I'm just loading Minecraft up in the background so we can have a look at that. But there's a warning here that says failed to load euler.txt. Now, I don't know how to pronounce this, I'll be totally honest. You will not be able to run a Minecraft server unless you accept it, and it can't always pop up on Docker for some reason. But all you want to do is click file management down here and then find euler.txt. And then just change this false to true and click save. And then if you jump back to your terminal, so that should now be finished. If I click start, I'm just going to bring Minecraft over next. So the instance says started, loading plugins. So you can actually do modded server here, the modern plugin manager, Java manager. You can set the server up exactly how you like it. There you go. I'll go multiplayer. And I do actually have it still up here, but we'll just add it fresh. God, it's so small. There we go. Let's make it bigger. So our server name we'll just call home server again. This section doesn't actually matter, it's more just for your server list. 192.168.4.115 and then the port. So it should tell you where the port is, so it's 25565. So it'll always be in your terminal up here. But what you'll notice is we're going to get what's called, I believe it's like an opt sock var error, if I remember correctly, and I'll show you how to fix this. There you go, yeah, so get sock opt. I see a lot of people complaining about this online. But what you want to do is come back to your terminal. So if I minimize this, we still have Terraria in the background because we closed our server. And inside here, because Docker's not controlling the port, it can't route it through here. So we need to add the Minecraft port under the daemon if it's not that Docker version server. So what I'll do here is I'll do sudo nano docker compose.yaml. Come down here and I'm going to add a new port. There we go. And we'll do 25565. Equals 25565. And when you're done that, do Control X, Y, enter. And then we just need to do sudo docker compose up -d again. So it's just going to recreate that. So your servers will restart on this instance here. Okay, here's our Minecraft instance back up. We'll go multiplayer. And this time if we click home server, there you go. So it's logging in, joining world. We make that a bit bigger again just while it loads us in. It can always take a second the first time you connect because your client has to load the server. There you go. And there's our Minecraft server. So you'll see the chunks loading quite a bit slow the first time, but it's just because you're the first person. But also our view distance isn't great. This is just a normal Minecraft server thing. Even if I have 32 chunks open, you'll see I can't see far at all. What you can do is disconnect from that server. Come into, I believe it's configuration files, and then server properties. Scroll right down to the bottom. This is where you get a lot of admin over your server. So this is where you can set the game mode, allow flight. But what I'm interested in is view distance towards the bottom. So that's a 32. Come up to the top and hit save. Refresh. Just check that did save as 32. Go back, terminal, restart and hit OK. And then we're going to rejoin and see if our view distance has improved. So you can see we already get 20 players as well available to join. I don't have 20 friends, sadly, so let's reconnect to our server. Now you'll see our view distance is much improved and going to go to about 32 chunks as the server loads them chunks in for the first time. So there you go. You now have a Minecraft server. And you do also get terminal logging, the same as what you would get when you pay for a server hosting platform. But on this one, you own it and you can have multiple games under one roof. So you could then, in theory, start a Power World server as well, which I really want to test out actually. But there's loads you can do on here. Sons of the Forest, Zomboid, Squad, Rust, Hightail. So you can set up a server here. Just remember, if it doesn't have that Docker bit, you just have to manually expose it to the daemon in the Docker Compose. But there we go. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video where we've avoided paying more subscriptions by setting up our own game servers. On Sunday, just the next video coming, we're going to discuss how to access this outside of your house and invite your friends to it using VPN, and maybe even Cloudflare remote access. But if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.